Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, back in the studio. It's Monday morning, and before we get into it, that kid from UConn will never have to pay for anything in a bar in Connecticut for the rest of his life for making one shot. I couldn't believe it. It broke my bracket completely. Our GM is a massive Duke fan, so I know he's still on watch, so we got to call him and make sure he's okay this morning. But, man, what a great game that was. That really was.
Well, the Duke team had a meltdown, I think it was last year, 2 years ago, in the Final Four and in the preceding events going to that Elite Eight and so forth. But 1992, they hit their own miracle shot when Christian Laettner knocked off Kentucky, and that was, and maybe it's payback time. Who knows? But whatever. The way Arizona is playing at the moment, the Wildcats are going to be awfully tough. But they'll be facing. This is the Final Four for the men. Incidentally, is all set. It'll be Arizona against a really, really good Michigan team, which yesterday took Tennessee and just cut them apart. 95-62 was the final. So we have Michigan versus Arizona, and many feel that's tantamount to the national championship game. The other semifinal in the men's division will match a very underrated, and they are underrated, Illinois team against Connecticut, which of course won in that storybook fashion yesterday. For those of you who might not have seen it, Duke had the lead with 7 seconds to go, and they had the ball. It was 72-70, and Duke had the lead. All right, they had the ball, and they inbounded the ball, which is fine. The Duke player who caught it, one of the Boozer brothers, who are really, really good players, held it for a few seconds, and then decided, and rightfully so, I would have done the same thing, to throw the ball as far as you can and let the clock run out.
Yep.
But he threw it to a Connecticut player who was standing way down court, a kid named Alex Caravan. He made the interception, fired the ball in an instant down court the other way, and here's a guy named Braylon Mullins, and he's cutting across, catches the ball, throws it up, buzzer sounds, ball goes in. Who would think that's going to happen? A miracle finish for Connecticut, and they win at 73-72 over Duke. And, yeah, I can understand why the boss man might be
he can be a little pissed today.
He's on edge right now.
Also, I mean, don't sugarcoat it. I mean, Duke was beating these guys by almost 20 points at one point. They were up 19 points at once.
And to give Connecticut credit, they came back, forced a very close game. It wasn't that one shot that lost it for them. They lost it before then when they let Connecticut – Duke let Connecticut get back into the ball game, and that made the difference. That was it.
So on the flip side of the coin, the ladies, UConn could also be heading to the championship as well.
They are there. There are two teams that are in it right now. Half the tickets, the ladies play their national championship game next Monday in Phoenix. I beg your pardon, Sunday in Phoenix. And the other half of that field is decided tonight. Yesterday, Connecticut 70, Notre Dame 52. Now, this is a Notre Dame team that Connecticut beat by almost 40 points back in January. Beat them by, 19 this time? Well, okay, there's a difference in teams, and Notre Dame's pretty good. Connecticut is pretty good. Are they a great team? I'm not sold on them yet, even though they are undefeated and the number one team in the country. UCLA played Duke, and the UCLA team, which is very big and very strong, was down to Duke. And back come the UCLans, who are very good, and win it 70-58. This is a bad day for Blue Devils country. The boss man is not very happy. Well, tonight you have South Carolina versus Texas Christian, and Connecticut will get the winner of that game, and then Michigan versus Texas. That'll be a heavyweight battle right there. Those games will decide who's in the Final Four for the ladies.
And last but not least, we had some action for both the men's Bears baseball team and the Panthers were both involved in little skirmishes this
Bears
weekend.
were down in Texas to play Dallas Baptist, and Missouri State wins one of the two. Missouri State won on Saturday 8-2, but lost yesterday, led in the game 5-2, but the Bears pitching is still a point of great concern. Dallas Baptist came back to win the game 8-5. Drury went to Jefferson City to play Lincoln, and the the Derby Panthers swept all 4 games, and they were all by big scores, none of them close in that one. Congratulations to the Derby Panthers, 4 big wins, and indeed, baseball is right there in full swing.
Royals and Cardinals had some pretty good series over the weekend. Cardinals did a little bit better than the Royals did, though.
They did. They took 2 out of 3 from the Tampa Bay Rays, including the opener on Thursday. But Tampa Bay came back yesterday and beat the Cardinals 11-7. That's first loss of the year for the St. Louis Ball Club. They're not going to win them all, folks. Interesting pitcher in this ballgame. He got hammered in the first couple of innings. Dustin May got the start. Dustin May was the pitcher for the Cardinals down here last Monday night when they played the Springfield Cardinals. Marmol wanting to keep the rotation intact. Anyway, he gets hit very hard in the first couple of innings and indeed leaves the game. And Tampa Bay, which is a pretty good ball club, not great, but a pretty good one, wins the game by a score of 11-7. And the Cardinals will host the New York Mets, and that's coming up tonight up at Busch Stadium in St. Louis.
And I feel like the Royals could have had a little bit better of a time in Atlanta had the Braves not had such hot bats those first 2. I mean, the second game, it looked like they were going to do something.
That's just it.
Braves just came out swinging.
The Braves are an injured ball club. They have a lot of, especially on their pitching. They're starting 5 all injured except for Chris Sale, and he got the opening win. Anyway, the Royals did score their first win. They had Seth Lugo on the hill and beat Atlanta by a score of 4-1. Carter Jensen, who was playing with the Northwest Arkansas Naturals at this time last year, had a couple of RBIs. Seth Lugo gets the win. So the Royals come up with a victory, and the Royals open this afternoon. They are back home in Kansas City this afternoon, play the Minnesota Twins in the opener up at Kauffman Stadium.
We've got the golf tournament happening in Houston. Who got the purse?
Gary Woodland, and this is a very interesting victory for him. He finishes 21 under par to win the Houston Open and the $1,700,000 first prize. But what's interesting is Woodland, who's a Kansas product, University of Kansas, has had very significant health problems. He had brain surgery a couple of years ago, and he's had trouble recovering from it. Anyway, he does come back. The doctors said they'd prefer he did not play golf, but he's decided to, and gets the win out of this one. A very emotional victory for Gary Woodland in Houston.
And on the racetrack, at the short track, he didn't get the win, but man, Hamlin's having a hell of a year. Came in second, almost won another one.
He was right there. He had a chance to win the thing, but he was held off down the stretch by Chase Elliott. That's the Cookout 400, and this is NASCAR's first trip this year to the short track at Martinsville, Virginia, and indeed a terrific race. Hamlin on his tail, on Elliott's tail, right down the stretch, but Chase Elliott, and get this, there were, this is how misleading math can be. Chase Elliott led for 84 laps in the race. Denny Hamlin led for 290 of them, and yet Hamlin doesn't get the win. Not because it's the crucial way that they set up after accidents, and Chase Elliott happened to be in the right position. Elliott gets the win.
And real quick note, how stupid is Tiger Woods? I can't believe he did this again.
Well, he's a victim, of course, of his own hand. He had not been, this was not a drinking. This was drugs that he has taken. It's hard, very difficult for anybody to really feel sorry for a guy who is a zillionaire. My gosh, he's got more money than...
He's worth at least $1 billion.
Oh, he's easily the wealthiest of the athletes in the world. So to feel sorry for him, but I do. I think the guy is in constant pain from all the injuries he's had, all the surgeries he's had. He's off back surgery. Had that back in October and November, sometime like that, and recovering from Achilles tendon tear. And he's on drugs. He's on drugs to relieve the pain, but he should not be driving. Here's the key. A guy like that who's very intelligent, he's a Stanford guy, for heaven's sake, hire
a driver.
Hire a chauffeur.
That's the thing. You're worth $1 billion, you can't hire a driver? Even a friend? It's just mind-boggling.
He can afford it. He can.
And right on the cusp of him coming back. You know what I mean?
He was thinking about playing in the Masters. He hadn't made a decision yet. I would have, in all honesty, Mike, I would have been very surprised had he chosen to be in the Masters, because that's a tough climb for him. And you walk the course, you have to. That's the rule. And I'm not sure he could have done that. But be that as it may, to have this happen to him, and again the bad publicity, It shouldn't have happened.
You don't want that to be on your record, that's for sure, Ned. Have a great day, and I'll see you down the road.